Greetings and welcome, fellow citizens. This week on the upgrade project we are going to be looking at the Expanse. So that's coming right up after this short intro sequence. I managed to get it without fluffing up my lines this time. Wait a sec. Hi, greetings and welcome, fellow citizens. So today on the upgrade project we are going to be looking at the Expanse. So as we have seen so far on this project, we have gone through quite a fair few different types of ships. We've gone through like the Gladius, the 300i, the Spartan even when we started off with, and even in the previous episode we looked at the quad bike and the Scorpius. So what we're going to be looking at today. Now today we're looking at the is a bit of a difference from what we've done before. It's simply because this ship isn't actually out just yet. I was hoping that it would actually have come out in verse and we would have been able to actually get our hands on this and play around with it and have a look at it, but we haven't yet, and I need to get this video out. So we're going to be having a look at some previous video footage from what's inside Starting and showed, plus stills, screenshots and other things that I think that are relevant. Now one of the things that I think is relevant is this ship is a little bit of how can we put this? We kind of predicted this ship way back in 2020. Because for a good couple of years there's been like the whole debate that was going on. Will there be a refinery ship? Will there not be a refinery ship? Now, I was on the side of saying, yes, there will be a refinery ship, simply because of my first look at the Prospector. Now, when I first got onto the Prospector back in 2020, we didn't have like these little circles that say, please enter ship here. You had to try and figure that out for yourself. A new ship, you got to try and figure out how to get on there. And that was a bit of a challenge. Now, me, as well as several other pilots at the same time, tried to get onto the Prospector, and the very first thing we noticed was at the rear of the ship there was this thing that opened up, and I must admit I kind of thought that is this supposed to be like some sort of step ladder, or is it supposed to lift us into the ship, or what is this thing? But after we found out where the actual true proper entrance was the side entrance to the left where the ladder comes down, I thought, okay, this back pipe doesn't even look remotely anything like how we're supposed to enter a ship. So what the heck is this for? I kind of figured out that if this ship is supposed to be like a mining ship, well, the Prospector that is, the Prospector is supposed to be a mining ship and it's got a little tube out that goes down at the back, it must be some sort of method that connects to another ship that allows a pass through of minerals or mined ore that goes from the ship and into another ship that would attach to the back through means. I mean, that was sort of how I kind of guessed it back in 2020, that there will be a refining ship and it will be attached to this pipe. It looks like they've gone a completely different direction. Now, what we know of how the refinery ship is going to work so far is that the Prospector or Mole will have detachable bags on the side. You know those large cylinders on the side? They are basically inflatable bags, and those inflatable bags will be detachable, and then you can grow new ones as you mine more equipment, more minerals. So as you mine, the bags will inflate, and when they're full you can detach them, and then someone else will pick that up and put that onto the Expanse, and the Expanse will then take that bag and then start to refine it. Yeah, so this does look like it will allow proper full-blown mining operations. So you'll need for several people. So you will need at least someone to fly the mole. Sorry, someone to fly the prospector, mole, mining lasers, whatever, and also someone to fly and operate the refining ship, the Expanse. As well as you're going to need some logistical engineers to carry the stuff backwards and forwards. Yeah, you are going to need logistical engineers. Logistics is going to be the backbone of all of this industry growth, all of this industry gameplay. You are going to need a lot of people that does all the heavy lifting and carrying. So at least put shares in tractor beams out, because that's going to be worth yeah, because we're going to need a lot of people wandering around with tractor beams moving the stuff around, whilst other people are actually doing the main jobs of mining and refining. But yeah, what was we talking about? Right, the Expanse it has several slots available to it, and the slots will be used to will be moved around the ship so that it gets moved into position of that bag is one that we're going to be refining. You do the refining process, and then the results of that refining process gets put into another bag. So I think it was about 12 different bags. I might have to look that up. How many bags are there? Just remind me quickly. Thank you. The refiner holds that many bags, and once it finishes up refining one bag, it will then have to empty that into another bag, because the bags will also double as the Expanse's cargo hold as well. So, which could also be detached and reattached. So once you finally finish refining everything, you've got like a whole massive load of materials that needs refining. You're refining detached bags that you finish with, or put on more bags to get more stuff refined. Because don't forget, one full bag of unrefined goods will probably equal to like a third of a bag of refined goods, because there's all that useless rubbish that you want to get rid of and and throw away. Which brings us to the actual refining gameplay loop. Now, I kind of got an idea of how to do this refining gameplay loop, how the refining mini game is going to work. I mean, I don't really have any clues. I don't know how. We haven't gotten any clues of how they're going to do it, or how CIG is going to do it. But this is sort of how I'm going to do it. And with my great graphics artist in computer graphics and design and all the wonderful stuff that I know of designing, this is how I think it's going to work. Yeah, in MS Paint. Yeah, I know the design could go a little bit better, but yeah. So let's just say you'll get an interface sort of like this, and the brown stuff is all like the inert materials. Then you've got other items which will represent like the minerals themselves, such as say the gold, silver, titanium, quantanium, or whatever you want. And then you've got to pick your tool. Now you can either pick a large tool, or you can pick a small tool. Now if you pick a large tool like this, you'll be able to easily scrub out all of the inert materials quite quickly and quite easily. But you will find that because of the size of the tool or the shape of the tool that you're using, it will also scrape away a lot of the minerals or the precious minerals that you want to keep. As if you was to use a small, very tiny refining tool, very small resolution refining tool, then you'll find out that you'll be able to save more of the more expensive materials that you want to keep, but it will take a little bit longer to scrub out all of the excessive inert materials. And a refining process is not done until all of the materials that you've picked to get rid of are gone. So very much exactly how the the refining is working at the space station at the moment. When you get the space station, you can first pick out which materials you want to keep and which materials you want to throw away. Then you choose the refining process. Now, considering the refining process as like your size of tool that you're going to use, it's either going to be a big one that will allow you to get it done super quick, but you'll lose a lot of the materials in the process, or you want a tiny one which will take a long time, like a couple of days, but you can but it will make sure you keep the materials that you want, so you don't use it up. So this is kind of how I think the refining gameplay is going to work with the Expanse. I mean, I could be like totally wrong, and it'll probably be a little bit better than the graphics that I'm implementing here. But if I was to design it, I think I would design it pretty much like that. And as it will probably take, the refining engineer, the person that's doing this, a long time dedicated to focus on trying to get all the good stuff out, and they would really have to focus on it. But then when they want to say, oh, what, sorry, I've got to go, I've got to log off, they quickly shut down, go to bed, log off, come back in, and then the refining is still left to complete. So when they come back in, they can carry on, say, right, okay, just got to scrap this off, scrape that off, and then we've finally done the refining processing, and that is then emptied into the other bag, a spare bag, and then they go on to the next bag. So I think that will be a decent way of how it could actually possibly work, but we'll have to wait and see. They might find something completely different that I haven't even thought of yet. But if it does go up like that, give us a sub, because I've been predicting give us a like, give us a sub, so hopefully our predictions are pretty spot on, but we'll have to see how things go. But yeah, now as we're going through these upgrade projects, there are many other ships that we are going through at the moment. Already we've got a couple of other upgrades that are going out over the next couple of weeks, such as got the Whole A, I got the Vulture. Hopefully I always keep calling it the Vulcan, so I'm sure it's a Vulture, yeah, with the salvage ship, which we managed to get. Got the Whole A, which I eventually upgraded to the Vulture. And I also got the Pisces, so those other three are still yet to come out. So look forward to those. I haven't made the Vulture video yet, but hopefully by the time that it comes to the Vulture video, it would actually be in game and I can get some proper decent video footage of us using it. Now, I haven't upgraded the Expanse yet, and I was having a little word with one of the developers, and I was thinking about how, if I should upgrade the Expanse, and he really said, what, are you mad? No, do not upgrade the Expanse, keep the Expanse. And I thought, okay, I'm going to keep the Expanse. So for the moment, that's going to be end of the timeline for the Expanse. We are not going to upgrade the Expanse any further. So after the next few upgrades that you're going to see coming out, we have still got one more. We've still got one more quad bike that we're going to upgrade. So we are going to be upgrading that come the IAE. I'm kind of concerned about the IAE because they're going to have some lot of ships that I really want. There's a lot of ships that I'm really interested in. I mean, I kind of want a C2, and I also want a Liberator, and I also kind of know that my Scorpius is quite high level, But I don't really want to get rid of the Scorpius. I want to keep the Scorpius. I like the Scorpius. So once I can upgrade, I've got the Vulture, the Vulcan. I mean the Vulture. Yeah. So I've got the Vulture, the 400i, and the Scorpius are high levels that I could possibly use to upgrade. But the thing is, I don't want to upgrade any of those. So we might miss an upgrade opportunity here. However, we are in concierge level now, so I might be able to get something later on down the line. We'll have to see how that goes. So anyway, I will just have to see what happens come the IAE. So, hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've done in creating this. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys out there.